Good morning and welcome to Williams Dog Training Company. We're here today with Fred and Winnie, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today is Winnie's ability to understand and respond to her obedience commands, the corrections and motivations we give her while we are working with her, and the training equipment that we're using. Fred is using a regular 6-foot web training leash, and he's going to keep the bulk of that leash folded neatly in his right hand, leaving his left hand free to give the correction. The correction that we give is a tug and let go to her training collar, which is the second piece of equipment that we're using. Winnie's been fitted with her own personal training collar, and we'll show you how to properly use this during your one-on-one lesson. As you can see, Winnie is seated on Fred's left, which is where all our obedience training is done. The first command we'll demonstrate is heeling, which is proper walking on a leash, and Fred and Winnie take off doing that now. The command you want to use for this is Winnie heel, and then start walking, and she'll fall right in line on your left-hand side. As you see right there, we've also incorporated our sit command into this, so anytime Fred stops his feet, Winnie will sit. There's another example. It's important when you're heeling Winnie that she walks at your pace without trying to pull ahead or lag behind. If she did attempt to pull ahead or lag behind, say no, give a tug and let go correction to her training collar, repeat the command to heel, and then start walking again. And the next command they'll demonstrate is our stay command, which is a hand and voice command. Fred uses the open flat of his left palm an inch or so from Winnie's muzzle and the one-word command to stay. He walks out to the end of the training leash. Now this is a great exercise to build up self-control in Winnie. You can start practicing this one at about a minute's time and work your way up in increments until you get to about 3 minutes. Now as Fred returns back to Winnie, he'll walk all the way around her, providing an added distraction as he goes behind, and right back to that left-hand side heel position. She holds that sit-stay throughout, he gives her some praise, and then heels her right out of it. And he'll show you a little more of the heel, sit, and stay. As he's heeling her around. Stops his feet, she sits. Gives her the stay again, back out to the end of the training leash. At this time he'll give her a second to hold this position, and then he'll demonstrate our come or recall command instead of returning back to her. Calls her in using her name, she gets right up, comes into him, and sits in front. And then we have an exercise called the finish. Fred heels her right around the back of him, and gets her right back to that left-hand side heel position, and she sits. He'll demonstrate that recall one more time, have her in a sit, give her a stay, out to the end of the leash, and then he calls her in by her name, comes in, has her sit in front, and then the finish, he's going to heel her right around the back of him, and gets her right back to that left-hand side heel position. And after she shakes it out, she sits. Alright, it's a good time to remind you want to practice all your commands with Winnie, about 15 to 20 minutes a day. You can practice them inside or outside your home, and just incorporate the commands into your daily routine with her. Next up, we'll be showing you our down commands. The first is down from a heel position. Fred will use the open flat of his left palm straight down to the ground and the one-word firm command to down. He then gives her a stay and walks out to the end of that training leash. It's another great exercise to build up that self-control. You can start practicing this one at about 3 minutes time and work your way up in increments until you get to about 5 minutes. As Fred returns back to Winnie, he'll walk all the way around her, just as he did on the sit stay, and right back to that left-hand side heel position. She holds that down stay throughout, and he heels her right out of it. I'll show you that down again when he comes back around. Now you see Winnie's doing very well, but if for any reason she does not respond to one of your commands or breaks one of her stays, it's always important to follow through. So the first word out of your mouth would be no, followed by a tug and let go correction to her training collar, and then you'd repeat the command you'd given her. So there Fred gave her another down and a stay, back out to the end of that training leash. This time he gives her a second to hold it, and he'll demonstrate that come or recall command right out of the down position. Calls her, she gets right up, comes into Fred. He'll have her sit in front. And then the finish, he heels her right around the back of him and gets her right back to that left-hand side heel position, and she sits nicely. Alright, we'll give them a second to get lined up for our final command, which will be down from a distance. This will be your down from a distance. You're going to have her in a sit, give her a stay, walk out to the end of your leash. And this is the only time you use your right hand to give the command, and Fred will drop her into a down from the end of the training leash. He then returns back to her one more time by walking all the way around and right back to that left-hand side heel position. Excellent job. All right, we've demonstrated for you our basic obedience commands that we worked on with Winnie while she's been here at school. It's been a pleasure working with Winnie, and we thank you again for choosing Williams Dog Training Company as your personal dog trainer.